Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In my last video, I was discussing about the direct sum of subspaces. Today I will discuss the definition of quiescent space and some theorems related to this topic. So let W be a subspace of the vector space V over F. Then W is a subgroup of abelian group of V with respect to addition of vectors, that is V plus. So we have a subgroup W of the vector space V with respect to addition. This forms a group, abelian group. Moreover, abelian group and W is the subgroup of this vector space, and let alpha be an element of the vector space V. Then W plus alpha is a right coset of W in V. I have discussed about the definition of right coset and left coset in the videos of group theory, so you can watch it from there. So this W plus alpha works as a right coset of W in V. Since V plus forms an abelian group, since V is abelian group, then right coset must be equals to left coset. So alpha plus W is equals to W plus alpha. The right and left coset are determined by the element alpha. Since alpha is here on right side, then this is right coset and this is left coset. So now thus we can say that W plus alpha is a coset of W in V. Now let us make a collection of all such cosets and give them and make them in a form of set and give it a name V by W. So let V by W denote the set of all coset of W in V. That is, V by W is the collection of all the cosets of W in V. W plus alpha, such that alpha belongs to V. So we are taking the subspace, the sum of subspace together with the element of the vector space V. This alpha is arbitrary, it can be any element of the V. So we take all the cosets of this type and make them in the form of in a set and keep them in a set. Then that set is called quiescent set and it forms a group with respect to addition, and it is closed under all the properties of a vector space. Hence it forms a subspace, and this space is called quiescent space. So I hope the definition is clear to all of you. I have just taken one subgroup of the vector space definition V plus, and with the help of that subspace and an element of the vector space V, I made the right coset. And since V plus was forming an abelian group, so alpha plus W will be equals to W plus alpha, that is right coset is equals to left coset. Then I took the collection of all such cosets and kept them in the form of set. That collection forms a space. That space is called quiescent space. So I hope the definition is clear. Now I will take one example. Before the example, let's discuss a very important theorem of the quiescent space that is also very important for your exams. So if W be a subspace of a finite dimensional vector space, then dimension of V by W, the dimension is discussed in my previous videos, so you can watch it there, is equals to dimension of V minus dimension of W. So let's start the proof of theorem. So proof starts from the dimension of the subspace W. So the subspace that I have taken, let M be the dimension of the subspace. W of a vector space V over F. If this is the dimension of the subspace W, then its basis must contain m number of vectors. So let S is equals to alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on, alpha m be a basis of W. Now every basis forms an Li set. So S must be Li subset of the vector space V. Therefore, by the extension theorem, each basis can be extended to form a basis of V. That is, this is the basis of the subspace. Then it can be extended by adding some Li vectors to form a basis of V. This is the statement of extension theorem. So let S dash be the basis of the vector space V. Then we are adding L number of vectors into the basis of W such that it can form the basis for the vector space V. Now the dimension of the vector space V will be the number of elements inside the basis of V. So how many elements are there? These are M elements and these are L elements. So the dimension of V will be M plus L. Now we need to calculate dimension of V minus dimension of W. That will be equals to dimension of V by W. So if we calculate dimension of V minus dimension of W, this will be equals to M plus L minus M, because this is dimension of V and this is dimension of W. So the remaining portion is L. So we need to prove that dimension of V by W equal to L. If we show this, then we can say that the dimension of V by W is equals to dimension of V minus dimension of W. In order to prove that the dimension of V by W is L, we need to take a basis of the V by W such that it contains L number of elements. So what type of elements will be in the basis of V by W? As we have seen in the definition that they will be in the form of cosets. So W is the subspace of V. So we can claim that the set of L cosets S1 equals to W plus beta 1, W plus beta 2 and so on, W plus beta L. You will think that why I have not taken the elements alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on, alpha m, because they were the elements of the basis of W. That's why I didn't take them. I took only beta i's, that is beta 1, beta 2 and beta L, and made a set with the help of these vectors together with the subspace. This forms a basis of V by W. In order to show that this set forms a basis of V by W, we have to apply the definition of basis here. That is, we need to prove that each vector is Li, that is the whole set S1 is Li, and this S1 can generate the whole subspace V by W. So in order to show that S1 is Li, we have to write the linear combination and to prove that each scalar is 0. But before that, we need to find the 0 of the subspace V by W. So what is the 0? I want to tell you that the 0 vector of V by W is the 0 vector of V by W is W itself. W itself. Since if I take 0 vector belonging to W, then W plus 0 vector is equals to W itself. So that's why this W becomes the identity for the subspace V by W. That is 0 vector of this subspace V by W. This 0 vector is coming from V, This 0 vector is coming from V, and if we add, that is make the coset of the subspace W with the element 0, then this gives W itself. So the W works as a 0 vector for the subspace V by W. So firstly we write the linear combination of the cosets of V by W, and then we equate it to the 0 vector W. Now as we know the definition of Quotient subspace, that W plus alpha, if we take the scalar multiplication of this element, this is equals to W plus A alpha. That is, there is no effect on W, it is just commuted together with the vector alpha. So we will use this property. So this becomes W plus A1 beta 1 plus W plus A2 beta 2 and so on, W plus AL beta L, that is equals to the 0 vector W. Now if we add W plus W plus W for L times, this will again become W, and all the vectors in the linear combination will be written in this form, and this will work as a vector of V, and that will be equals to W plus 0 vector. So this element must belongs to where? W. Now if this belongs to W, then we know that alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on, alpha m, were forming a basis for the vector subspace W. So we can equate A1 beta 1 plus A2 beta 2 and so on, AL beta L to the B1 alpha 1 plus B2 alpha 2 and so on, Bm alpha m. Now if I take them, these vectors in this side, then this becomes A1 beta 1 plus A2 beta 2 plus and so on, AL beta L minus B1 alpha 1 minus B2 alpha 2 minus and so on, minus beta Bm alpha m equal to 0. Since we know that they were forming a basis for the vector space V, so they must be alike, because they are alike, they are alike vectors of the basis S dash. So the corresponding scalars must be 0. So A1 equal to A2 equal to AL equal to B1 equal to B2 and so on equal to Bm, all of them will be 0. This proves that all the scalars are 0. So the set S is Li. Now we have to show that the set S can generate the whole subspace V by W. So to show L of S1, that is the linear span of S1, is equals to V by W. That is, the elements of S1 can generate the whole subspace V by W. In order to show that L of S1 equal to V by W, we consider an element of V by W, W plus alpha, such that alpha belongs to V. If this is the element, this alpha is from V, then each element of the vector space V can be expressed as the linear combination of the elements of basis of V. So I have written alpha as the linear combination of the elements of vectors of basis, that is elements of basis. So that will be written as C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 and so on, Cm alpha n plus another set of scalars, that is D1 beta 1 and so on, DL beta L, because we were taking alpha 1 alpha 2 and so on, alpha m comma beta 1 beta 2 and so on, beta L in the basis of vector space V. So this will, each element of the vector space V can be expressed like this. Now let C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 and so on, Cm alpha m is equal to a vector gamma that belongs to W, because alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on, alpha m were the vectors of the basis of the subspace W. So I have taken it as a element gamma of the subspace W. Now alpha can be expressed now gamma plus D1 beta 1 plus D2 beta 2 and so on, DL beta L. That is, at this place we can put gamma. Now if I add the subspace W on both sides, then this becomes W plus alpha and this becomes W plus gamma plus D1 beta 1 plus D2 beta 2 and so on, DL beta L. Now if I distribute this subspace over these elements, then this becomes W plus gamma plus W plus D1 beta 1 and so on, W plus DL beta L. I have used just this property, that W plus gamma, if this scalar is multiplied with the coset W plus alpha, then this is distributed over just the elements. So I have used this property here. W plus gamma becomes W here in the next step, because gamma belongs to W, and this is called absorption property. Since W is a subspace and gamma is belonging to W, then W plus gamma will again be in W. That's why I write it as W. So and other elements will be written written by using this property, and they will be in the form d1, that is the scalar will come out and the remaining element will be inside the bracket, that is w plus beta 1, and so on, dl into w plus beta l. I have just repeated the process for each element. Now all the elements w plus alpha will belongs to v by w. Now this is the basis of what? This was the subset. This was the elements of the subset of the v by w. So each element of v by w, that is w plus alpha, can be expressed in the form of elements of S1, that is w plus beta 1 w, and so on, w plus beta l. So we can say w plus alpha also belongs to L of S1. Hence we can say that S1 forms a basis of v by w, and from there we can write L of S1 equal to v by w. So dimension of v by w is equals to dimension of v minus dimension of w. So I hope the proof of theorem is clear to all of you. Thanks for watching and please subscribe my channel. Thank you.